What's up, guys, gals, and Book Nook pals? It's Pluck the Bunny with another Book Nook unboxing, and today we have one that I'm personally very excited about. Not that I don't love all of the Book Nooks I take a look at, but this was one I was super excited about and bought the minute I saw it, because this is one of Fifijoy's newest exclusives, and I've been super happy with all of their original kits. And also, this one is a theme that I'm sure you guys have already noticed. Ancient Egypt is not a very common theme in the Book Nook world, and I'm super excited to see something new. So again, Egyptian's Pharaoh's tomb. We see the very typical, you can already see some art on the outside that may not blend with the rest of the kit, but that's okay, because when this is all put on a shelf, you're not really going to take a look at the sides. Again, this is an atypical ratio. This looks like a wider, thinner kit, almost not quite the same, but similar to the Max libraries from Mini City. I kind of like these different ones every once in a while. They don't have that same draw you in thin energy, but they're nice big focal display pieces, and I really like that. Fifijoy, their graphic design department is always super awesome. I love the designs on all their packaging, from the border around here to the hieroglyphics in the letters on the front. A really good image and some good scenic photos in the back that wrap around the whole thing, including interior photos, which I can tell there's a lot of awesome details in here. And a really cool picture on the back, and you can see kind of how it sits. We're looking about 7 inches wide, 4.5 inches, 4 3/4 inches deep, and about 8 inches tall. So let's dig into it and see what we got. All right, we got our Fifijoy kit here, and again, you know I love the bubble wrap on top. Keep things from bouncing around, keeps the components in good shape. All right, we got another Thor's hammer here, and I'll go with the collection. What's interesting is this does seem to be a bigger box, but the lighting kit, if I'm looking at it really quickly, not super crazy here. So we got 3 LEDs and a touch sensor on our standard 2 AAA battery box. We got a bunch of those crappy tape stickers to hold the tape down, and we have our little emery board. And I'm sorry to the 2 of you that do follow the channel who love these emery boards, but that's getting thrown away as well. But let's put this to the side. We got our standard pink tweezers. So that's a class 1 tweezer, meaning it's the most common of all the colors. All right, this is going to be our front faceplate, so that gives you an idea of what the dimensions are on the front. And then we have our instruction manual. All right, we're going to plug the overhead light back in since we don't have the glossy box anymore. Get some more light on the situation. There we go. All right, so got our layout of all of our pieces here. Interesting. Okay, yeah, only 3 LEDs, I thought. And it does have glue included in here, but because if you're buying it and you're not in Asia, they typically can't ship with the glue in the box. You're probably not going to find glue in your box. But one thing we see right off the bat is these are full color instructions, okay, which means there's no ambiguity about the direction of the pieces. And I got a full assembled picture on the back. So there's not really too much to talk about in the instruction manual. The light really is just, it looks like the only difference is the length, and it's a fairly simple wiring because we really are only looking at 3 LEDs. So being in full color with only 3 lights, pretty straightforward instructions. So this is interesting. So the bubble wrap is actually wrapping the runners, not just sitting on top. A little bit of extra protection. Kind of went against my rule of doing the serpentine with the knife, but sometimes I make mistakes, guys. I know. All right, so I'm looking at these graphics, and one thing that's surprisingly is that I would have expected this to be a little sharper, to be completely honest. My light is not working, guys. You don't need to know that, but I do like to be able to see what I'm doing, everybody. I know it's kind of hard to see. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you didn't quit in those last 10 seconds. I'm just surprised to see the resolution on these is just a little more blurred than I would have expected. I guess it kind of gives it more like you're looking at an artifact than like this painting, the hieroglyphics and the painting of the deities. That I can kind of see how a blurred effect, like a slightly fuzzy effect, would make it look like you're looking at the actual painting on the wall. But like around here in the Pharaoh's tomb, I don't know. Again, it's a small nitpick. They're still absolutely beautiful. And it looks way less, it actually looks like it may be humanly graphic designed. I don't know. Obviously, I don't read hieroglyphics, so I can't tell if these are real hieroglyphs. Some of them look kind of familiar, but who knows? I mean, I'm sure somebody knows. But, yeah, so by the fact that this does look photorealistic makes me think that this was a conscious choice. It does look like that style is limited to the outside pieces. Because, again, this is photorealistic. This is photorealistic. Right? This has that, like, fuzz to it. Again, still awesome looking. Guys, don't lose all these tiny little pieces here. That, I can already tell you, is not going to be fun. But when we go in here, we see the art style changes, and it's a little more consistent. It's toting that line between stylized graphics and hyper-realistic. A little scarab beetle here, some bones, more bones, more bones. Looks like some kind of brazier or pot. Lots of different stone colors, so this is going to be good for your gray marker set. Maybe if you have a lot of those light brown acrylics, the color matching on this for me, I'm probably going to go with a very light brown alcohol marker and shades of grays. I think it's going to help with like the sandstone look personally, but I know some people in the community are going to go really ham on how they blend the colors. I mean, it's very interesting here, guys. It is a very different artistic style than we've seen from Fifijoy. It's not bad. It's just different and unexpected. I don't know what I expected because of the scale of this one. But also a lot of detail. So when we looked at the Ember Castle, the dragon one, right, that was huge, but it was just stone. So the detail didn't require hyper-realism. Here we have so much, it's replicating a real thing. So it's kind of hard to tell here what overall look they were going for and do they pull it off. And I think it's really not going to be apparent until we really put this thing together and dig into it, how successful it is. I am seeing a couple things that you guys know I like to talk about. We have our index cuts for where things are going to go on the ground, so we went with the outlines here, though in some spots I did see they went with the no background. Lots of details in, so like you can see here, this is actually not a stain. Well, it is a stain, but it's not a stain on the piece. It's a design stain into the rock, into the ground, which is cool because they actually went for a real worn look without too much stacking. Like, it's blended into the graphics itself, which I think is pretty cool. Here's another neat thing. This is a huge accordion piece, and this is definitely the most detail I've seen on an accordion wood piece before. Again, this is a newer kit, so not surprisingly, the wood feels very flexible and supple here, and that's good because I really don't want to break it. You can see here this is going to be probably one of the base pieces, I'm guessing, just based on the number of holes in it and its overall size. So that is a lot of connections on the bottom. You can usually see that with the Fifijoy kits. They have a good strong base with a lot of connection points. And again, the same like detailed graphics in this unique style that's kind of, like I said, blurring the line between realism and cartoonish. And cartoonish is the wrong word because that has, to me at least, a negative connotation. And I don't mean it negatively. I just mean realistic versus stylized. I think stylized is the better word. There's so many elements in this kit. One thing I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing a lot of double-sided printing. I'm not seeing any double-sided printing. I mean, one advantage this kit has is there are no other Egyptian kits really out there. I think there may be one more, so there's nothing really going against it. And I guess because it's a flatter, wider kit, the angles you're not really going to be seeing from behind. I do think it is odd that, with the exception of the outside pieces, to not see any double-sided printing. But this is... I mean, we've got a lot of runners here. They do appear to be higher quality material. They're not, they are an MDF, but they appear to be a higher quality MDF, not the really flimsy stuff. No pieces, you guys have seen no pieces, even the bigger ones. They're usually falling apart as I'm picking them up. Like these kits, I can, right, this piece I can push on these big guys, and they're staying in their runners. So, how do we feel about this one? Well, I am still super excited for it. I am a little more perplexed than I am after opening some kits. And by perplexed, I mean I just don't see the final product in my mind's eye. And it's not a bad thing. It's just a little bit of the mystery as we seal back up this tomb. So what do we think here, guys? I don't think this is the Mummy's Curse. I don't think I have buyer's remorse. I am still super excited for the Egyptian Pharaoh's tomb and what treasures it contains inside. I mean, with the warm lighting, I think, actually, the more I think of it, that's probably why it says warm LEDs. Still seem to have a yellowish candle lit color. And I think the less LEDs and the warm LEDs are going to really enhance the kind of fuzzy, underground, dark graphic style they went with. Now, what I might do to add to everything is pick up some candle flicker LEDs to kind of really give that torchlight environmental effect to really sell it. And I think that's going to be what really brings us to the next notch. So perhaps I'll do a lighting video on that where we convert from the standard LEDs to the candlelight flickering ones to simulate torches. For now, guys, this is Egyptian Pharaoh's Tomb. It is a Fifijoy exclusive. I will put the link to it in the comments and perhaps even to some flicker LEDs. For now, this is Book Nook. TikTok. Nope. I don't know what this is. This is me having a tiny bit of a brain fart. This is Pluck the Bunny saying, good luck, good Nook. Oh, well, fell off a cliff there at the end, guys. Sorry. Bye-bye.